Alright guys, what is up and welcome back to a brand new video. Episode number 24 for the My Team journey. We're heading to the Monaco Grand Prix and that only means one thing. I'm a very happy boy. This is my favourite track on the entire calendar and this is a good chance for us to get some big boy points in this episode of career mode. I think in season 1 things didn't go so well for us, so we'll be looking for redemption today, and we are finally addressing the team color issue. I will say I did get a couple of episodes ahead before seeing the very obvious comments. Don't know why I didn't change that at the time when I changed my livery, but there we go. Thank you for the suggestions. We're also going to change the helmet. My helmet is finally in the game. Thank you, Sevi. We can now have the authentic experience. I think it'll only be a short while now before we can have some realistic sponsors too. So we have that to look forward to. It is all happening in this season of career mode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Leave a like if you're enjoying the series and subscribe if you're new to stay up to date with this entire series as we vie to be the best team in Formula 1. But let's keep our expectations realistic. We need third in the constructors. Is that realistic? No, not really. But we'll give it our best shot anyway. We need to upgrade the chassis. It's probably the worst department we have in terms of performance right now. So that's going to be the aim. But we don't exactly have the time or the resources to really do anything meaningful at this stage. But we'll make baby steps. A minor weight reduction, 1,000 resource points for that. That's quite expensive, but I think that's probably the path that we're going to go down, to be honest. The others seem just a bit expensive. I think they might be major upgrades. So we got major weight redistribution. That would be quite helpful, but I'm not sure I want to spend those points just yet. We'll go for weight reduction. I think that's probably one of the most OP upgrades you can do. Makes the car lighter. A lighter car is a faster car, and a lighter car reduces tire wear. It just makes you faster everywhere. Straights, corners, braking zone, everywhere. So that's what we're going to target. In terms of anything else, though, we unfortunately just miss out on a fuel efficiency upgrade by literally 1 point. We can do a major ERS upgrade, though, and that'll go on literally 1 day before the Canadian Grand Prix. So whack that on. It's just a case of getting on the things that we can upgrade whenever we can. So that'll be quite handy when it does come, but it's going to be a couple of races before we see the realization of that upgrade. In terms of actual performance upgrades heading into this race, though, seems we've made massive strides heading into Monaco. So I'm not sure what upgrade actually went on there, but it seems to have made a sizable difference as we're literally smack bang in the midfield, quite a way ahead of Alfa Romeo and the rest, but then still a decent chunk away from Alpine, McLaren, and then the front runners. So this is going to be a good race for us. We're as close as we've ever been to the front, and that kind of distance, if we have a good day, means we could probably beat the likes of Alpine and McLaren. So very happy with the progress. We're starting to see the progress we were meant to make over the winter break, and things have stopped kind of failing for us. So it's nice that we've been able to turn that around, but let's keep kicking on. We've still got some big upgrades to get on the car, mainly on the chassis side. So these next 3-4 episodes will really start to make some progress in that area. But there we go, changing into slightly newer components for qualifying. Wish me luck. There we go. Isn't it so nice to have the actual helmet in the game? It is lovely stuff. I think I'm going to do a refresh of that thing. Maybe... probably unlikely to do it this year. Maybe next year if we end up doing any kind of real-life racing. Here is the setup that we're going to run for this Monaco Grand Prix. 50-50 wings. Very aggressive. We are going to be a bit of a sailboat going against the current on a straight. So we'll see how that goes. We're all about maximizing the performance through the corners. We do have the best aero in the entire field, or at least we did last episode. We might have been overtaken. But, yeah, there should be absolutely no excuses as to lack of pace through the corners. This is going to be a really good chance for us to showcase our speed in Formula 1. We come across the line, it's P12 with a 112. We do another lap, and we didn't actually spin for the first time ever on a second qualifying lap. So can we get some W's in chat? That would be absolutely lovely. We did get some underbody damage to the floor, so that's going to set us back a few minutes. Maybe explains the lack of pace, because we were some ways off our teammate in that run, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I was going to say, if there's any race that we're really going to be able to punch above our weight, then this is going to be the track with all of our downforce upgrades. Not really many straights, so there's not really much to fall behind on with the AI. The AI are very quick when it comes to straight line performance, and this is the opposite of a straight line performance track. So we should be able to make the difference around this place. 4 minutes to go in the session. We're up by 5/10 as we run through the middle sector, and we're continuing to find speed. We're continuing to find confidence. Really nice rotation, and made up a bit of time over that final chicane. I am a bit wary, guys, about floor damage. On simulation damage, we can't exactly crash over the curbs like we could in previous games. I mean, we had to keep that in mind on even 2021, to be fair. But the curbs and your use of them have consequences. Now, we're coming into the pit lane now. We're quite tight for time. We've done a 10.7, which was a really good lap, by the way. But we need to get back into the pits to change the tyres, to get back out there to finish our run. But unfortunately, that was game over. The crew took their sweet ass time getting me back into the pit lane. We ended up missing our final lap. And at the end of the day, we ended up in last place. And not by a little bit either. 6/10 to the next closest car. So I wasn't having that. I was supremely pissed off at that session. So much so that I thought maybe it wasn't legit. We restart the session to see if the AI did some bogus times. And even with my 10.7, I still would have got last in that restarted session. I think... Morning, sunshine. We restarted the session again, and even then a 10.7 would still not be up to scratch. So it seems, this is consistent with what you guys have been saying on Twitter, post this patch, the AI have found a ridiculous amount of time. I don't know where they're gaining it. I think it is straight line speed, but this is Monaco. The fact that they're so much faster, and I lowered the difficulty for this race in anticipation for what you guys have been saying, it was still not enough. So it's quite ridiculous how much speed they found. I was supremely annoyed at that because we're last at Monaco. There's not much we can do. We're going to lower the difficulty again to reflect where they should be relative to our car. We should not be qualifying last when we're clearly a midfield runner, or even close to the upper midfield now for us. But yeah, we're going to make some adjustments. It seems the AI need to be 10 clicks lower than where you normally run, and 97 might be it. Let's go to the race and hope we can do something.
Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo casino, first opened in 1863, and of course a certain road race first held in 1929. There is no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Fernando Alonso lines up on pole position, and Robert Schwartzman completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Perez, Max Verstappen and Webber, Norris, Sainz, Magnussen and Esteban Ocon, Albon, Ricciardo, Nicholas Latifi and Hamilton. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Oscar Piastri, Joe, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Russell and Benjamin. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat, Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into turn one?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn one as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Right then, Monaco Grand Prix. I'm fired up for this one. We've got to get ourselves up the order and in the mix with our teammate who's in P6 for the start of this race. That's where we should have been. In fact, we should have been ahead of him. This is our best track. Mark Webber, of course, two-time winner of the Monaco Grand Prix. Imagine if he gets his third today. Regardless, welcome to the grid. We're going to change up the strategy. I was initially thinking of doing hards to mediums, but given the lack of pace we showed in qualifying, I think it's probably best to start on the medium compound tyre and then leave our options open for the end of the race. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take some fuel out. Actually, we're going to take a lot of fuel out. That is way too much fuel to be having in this car, and we won't be having any of that. Big shout out to McLaren for getting a 1-2 in qualifying. Seems that draggy car works wonders at Monaco, and Alonso's on pole. We got even Robert Schwartzman in P2, the rookie. So that just reaffirms how quick that car is. Let's hope for their sake they can convert into maximum points. Away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix for Season 2 of my team. Things didn't go well for us last season. Let's see if we can make amends today. Up the inside of the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. We've got Tsunoda on the left-hand side. We've got to leave him a lot of space as he'll have the advantage heading up the hill with that straight line speed. OP, he takes the inside at Casino Square. We're going to have the inside for the next right-hander when we do retake. What is it, P19? We go up the inside of Stroll once again, and I think Pierre Gasly as well into Mirabeau. We're going to take that around the outside, but Joe, the rolling roadblock for us there. Everyone going very slowly at the Monte hairpin on this first occasion, and that is classic Monaco stuff there. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to not get a yellow flag at the hairpin, such as the walking speeds we have on the first lap. Regardless, it is P16. We've gained 6 spots off the start. I don't know how. That is quite ridiculous. Let's hopefully kick on with this and make further inroads towards our teammate. I would love to be up there with Mark Webber, having a nice little battle, the two Aussies. So let's see if we can do just that. Grazing the wall on the left-hand side on the approach to the final chicane. Let's not do that too many more times, as we are running on sim damage. We have a slightly more leeway compared to previous games, but we don't really want to be pushing it. McLaren, speaking of pushing it, 1-2, and clearly 1-2 at this point. They've got bundles more pace than the Mercedes of... it's not George Russell anymore. Why have I forgotten all my own team transfers? It's Sergio Perez, backing them up nicely in P3 there. So, wow, McLaren looking very strong. We're looking pretty strong here on Guan Yu Zhou. We go around the outside, turns to the inside for the right-handers, and that is P15. Lovely stuff. Here's the replay. I love a little outside move on the AI, especially earlier on in the race when they're, backed up in a heavy train. You can sometimes create an opportunity for yourself if you are willing to be patient around the outside there, and it's paid off. Next up is Hamilton on the hard compound tires. That's actually a pretty good strategy. I wanted to do that, but I was, like I said, unsure about my pace here, so we're opting to have a little bit better pace to get ourselves through the pack. If I was starting on the hard compound tires, I'm not too sure these early moves would be happening so fluidly. So we're easing ourselves into this race. But as we're settling into it, we're finding we're actually getting left behind. Not only by Hamilton, which is understandable in a Mercedes, but Latifi is pulling away. The gap is 3 seconds. And it looks like, on average, the AI are about half a second faster than us, potentially, when they really nail their lap and when I maybe slightly make a mistake. If I can really nail a lap, then the pace between us is somewhat similar, maybe 0.2. But they are just stretching away, especially as this stint wears on, which I was finding to be very, very confusing. We got a yellow flag. Someone's going slowly. It is Mick Schumacher. in the Haas, and just like in real life, this is where he retires from the Grand Prix. I was in that very stadium this year, looking down. That was a monumental crash. It was quite horrific, actually. The sound, I don't think I'll ever get over the horrible sound that I heard just prior and just as he went into the barrier. But thankfully, it wasn't a high-speed crash. Just a retirement for Mick, and no VSC, no safety car. Look at the lead McLaren have right now. It's stretching out to nearly a pit stop between Schwartzman and Sergio Perez. It's getting quite ridiculous. Alonso is going to have all the flexibility in the world, I imagine, to do what he wants for race strategy. There's absolutely no holding back for Alonso in this race. No backing up, no killing tires of other competitors. He's just got straight pace right now. But into the pit lane we go. What we don't have is pace ourselves. We were really dying off towards the end of that stint. Really suffering for understeer, it must be said. So we're coming in maybe slightly early for hard compound tires. And let's hope that these new tires can be the secret to success for us. We seem to be a little bit more comfortable on the harder compounds on this year's game. Normally I hate the hards, but they just seem to give me the most flexibility. There's a wider operating window for the temperature range, and I think for me it just means I can push a little bit harder with lower consequences. So we'll give it our best shot. I don't know if you guys saw on the MFD there, the damage indicator. We've actually got the slightest tinge of floor damage on the diffuser. It's that little rectangle box just above the rear wing on the car indicator. Anyway, our teammate's in onto hard compound tires. Fairly decent stop there for him. He's putting pressure on both the Ferraris and the Red Bulls at this stage. So Webber, best of the rest, still in P6, I believe, but he's struggling to kind of keep that Ferrari of Norris behind at this point. Let's hope for his sake he's got the straight line speed to do the business on the start-finish straight, and he should be a-okay to keep Norris behind. Anyway, 19 laps remaining in this race, and this looks to be the race order. This looks to be our maximum in this race. We just don't have the speed, at least at the end of the stints. At the start of a stint, though, it seems okay. Anyway, Hamilton is coming out to the pit lane. Went from hards to mediums, and even with the overcut in that Mercedes, Hamilton unable to overcut Latifi, and he's been stuck behind him all race, and it looks like that trend will continue throughout. As you can see the laps rolling in, the start of the stint is very successful for us. We feel very quick, 12.5, which actually isn't too far off what some of the cars in front are doing. But as the stint goes on, we kind of just drop off, and yeah, everyone else kind of gets faster. We're going green to this current lap. This might be our personal best of the race. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit of the last corner. Up to the line, it's a 12.8, which was pretty close to optimal pace. We've got the other Haas retiring from this race. So it was Schumacher, now it's George Russell. Haas getting a double DNF in this Monaco Grand Prix, and certainly one to forget. Still no safety car, still no VSC, 7 laps to go, and this has been a very lonely Grand Prix. It's been a very frustrating one because I feel like, big moment there for us out of the exit of turn 1, and this is going to be the Alfa Romeo of Zhou trying to have a go up into Casino Square. He doesn't get close enough to put us under too much pressure, and we maintain P15. But here's the replay. Caught up on the curb, get on the power a little bit too early. I was pushing, guys. I was really trying in this race to try and get close and do something in this race. I was really hoping for points today, and I was just trying everything to unlock a bit of pace, and that's the symptom of, I guess, pushing too hard. 6 laps to go, and the gap is only stretching to the cars ahead. It's not only Hamilton, it's Latifi who's pulling away by half a second a lap. Every lap, and that I can't take. A Williams being that much faster than us, given how much better our car is than Williams, is a bitter pill to swallow, especially at my best track. Monaco, I had high hopes for being in the mix with my teammate inside that top 5, but it's not been the case. Penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, and it just seems like the AI were too quick today again. Anyway, on a more happier note, Fernando Alonso returns to McLaren, returns to Monaco, and wins on his first attempt. Alonso is going to be very happy with that one, as is Robert Schwartzman, a rookie in Formula One, completing a 1-2 for the team. First podium for Schwartzman, and McLaren might well be a consideration for the Constructors' title after today. But for us, it's looking like, yeah, it is going to be P15. We got up past Guan Yu Zhou after the opening couple of laps, and then from there, we just haven't had the pace to match anyone close to the points. Mark Webber rounds the last corner and completes a top 6 finish for Marduk Motorsport. So that's 2 points finishes on the bounce for our teammate. Form is really coming on nicely at this point of the season. And when I'm not performing, it seems that Mark is starting to deliver now, which is absolutely phenomenal for our standing in the Constructors. Out of the last corner. Absolutely a race to forget today here in Monaco.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Very annoying race. We'll debrief and I'll tell you guys what I think might have been the issue with that one, but not ideal.
It's the one that everybody wants to win, and they've only gone and done it. What a fantastic result here at Monaco. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
As the winners make their way up to the podium, one can only imagine the celebrations that will take place at McLaren tonight. Congratulations to everyone on the team, securing the win and proving they're a force to be reckoned with.
That is so cool to see. 1-2 for McLaren. Fernando Alonso goes back to McLaren. Third time lucky for the team, eh? And strikes gold, doesn't he? That is absolutely phenomenal. We got Charles Leclerc, who actually manages to get a good result in that Red Bull for a change. He completes the podium. I'm not too sure where Max Verstappen ended up, but that's quite the podium, it has to be said. But yeah, after that race, Mark Webber got P7, not P6. I think he did get jumped by... Oh, he got jumped by Lando in the end, so that's a shame, but it happens. Regardless, I was absolutely fuming in this race. I was stuck in P15, and I just couldn't do anything in this race. Believe me, I tried many things. I tried so many different driving styles. I tried so many different lines. In the end, we did pick up a little bit of floor damage on the rear diffuser, which did slow us down a little bit on the straights, maybe lost a little bit of rear downforce. Nothing too crazy, though. I think even without the floor damage, we'd still be where we are. It was just a case of the AI difficulty level being too high. And we got caught out by this new patch. I think a lot of people have been caught out by this new patch. And we'll make adjustments for future races. But Monaco Grand Prix, we lowered the AI difficulty by nearly 10 clicks compared to where we've been running in recent races. Our fastest lap with Webber was actually quite comparable. 3/10 separating us, which I actually think is quite close. But we weren't able to really make up the difference throughout the rest of the stint. Also very frustrating as well because I couldn't speak to my engineer. I was trying to bring up the text-to-speech. I wanted to know what lap times my teammate was doing. Couldn't find that out, so that was doubly frustrating. Going into race director, trying to see the AI's lap times, also couldn't do that. Very frustrating. I was genuinely fuming because we were massively down on pace and I couldn't get to the bottom of why, because all these glitches were getting in the way, and yeah, couldn't change the difficulty mid-race. Just so many bugs that really irked me in this race, and I put out a rage tweet on Twitter. My initial guess at the time of filming this was that maybe my upgrades weren't applying. It felt like the tire wear was harder than what it normally is. But maybe that's wrong. Maybe we do have our upgrades applied. It's just the AI found crazy amounts of pace compared to where they normally are. I'm not too sure, but either way, it seems like this game is getting worse with each patch, and it's unfortunate to see. I hope it'll be addressed very soon, but I guess the band-aid fix for now is just to run a lower difficulty until things chill out with the AI. P6 and the constructors, Mark did a great job of solidifying our position in the standings. A shame to really miss out there on points, because I really felt like we could have done something in this race, given our new position in the performance index. But McLaren, great day for those guys. Mark Webber, a good day on his side of the garage. We head to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix next, and if the AI are even more OP in a straight line, then my word, are we in for an interesting Grand Prix with that massively long back straight. The latest patch was meant to address the AI OP-ness, but somehow they've made it worse. Regardless, we'll keep fighting on in the next race and the races to come. Hopefully you enjoy this Monaco Grand Prix. I'm sorry it was a bit of a dull race. There was absolutely nothing I could have done about that. Absolutely no battles for us after the first few laps. And nothing much going on either for the AI. So it's a 27-minute video. And I bet you guys probably thought coming into this that this was going to be another engine failure episode. Well, I'm kind of glad to say that that wasn't the case. It was just a bit of a stinker. It was a classic Monaco race. They can't all be bangers. But there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you need to see plenty more racing game content. Marduk Motorsport is on the rise. Let's hope I can continue to ride that wave. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, nice little slide there. Nice little slide. I need to get good, basically. The team's getting good, and I must follow. Anyway, so much Waffle. See you next time. Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Until then, it's goodbye.